All right, so let's work on the problem set to get us ready for the test on Tuesday. So I'm on page 2 in your problem set. So in lesson 1.1 is domain, range, and end behavior. And we want to be able to describe an appropriate domain of a function in its graph. So here it says, which of the following could represent the interval 8, 35? Select 2 that apply. So remember I told you guys that you really have to pay attention to like how many answers it's expecting you to select, because I see all the time like someone only chooses 1 or chooses 3 or something like that, and that's easy points to miss. So the first one, we have parentheses around the 8 and the 35, so that means that the domain is in between 8 and 35, but does not actually equal 8 or equal 35. So that's going to be an inequality sign without a line underneath. So it's just x is greater than 8, x is less than 35. So in between 8 and 35, and then same thing for this one. So this one is just in an inequality. This one is in a set. And this one is an inequality. All right, over here, which of the following could represent this interval? So x is actually greater than or equal to 1, and x is less than 3. So the 1 is the one that should have a bracket because it's actually equal to 1. So the 1 has a parenthesis here. That's not going to work. We want 1 to have a bracket, and then 3 to just have a parenthesis because it doesn't have the line underneath. So like that, and then we just transfer this inequality down to here, and these end up being the same. X, or the 1 has the line underneath it, the 3 does not. Okay, use set notation to describe the domain and range here. So domain, I want you to remember is left to right. And range is bottom to top. So domain starts at -5 right here and it ends at 4. Right, so it starts at -5 and ends at 4, and -5 has an open circle, so that means that it's going to be a parenthesis. It starts at -5 and ends at 4. Was that right? Yeah, and ends at 4. So that's going to be a bracket. And then for the range, it goes from bottom to top. So we're going to start at the bottom of the graph and go to the top. So range, we go bottom to top on the x-axis. So here starts there and ends here. So it starts at -3 and ends at 4, and -3 is an open circle, so that means it's going to have an inequality or a parenthesis. All right, there we go. -3 to 4, and 4 has a closed circle, so we use a bracket. All right, domain and range here. So domain left to right. So we're going to start from the left and move to the right, and we see like it starts here, but it's not an actual dot, it's an arrow. And that means that it goes off in that direction for forever. So that means that the domain is going to be from -infinity. And then if we go over here and go down here, it's not a dot, it's an arrow, so it's going to be +infinity. It goes from -infinity to +infinity. And then the range from bottom to top, well, it starts down here, and it doesn't like actually like have a start spot, right? It just has arrows, so that means that the range starts at -infinity and it ends right here at 3. And it actually, a part of the graph is at 3, so we use a bracket. Okay, use the graph to determine the function's domain and range. So we're going to start from left to right for the domain, and it looks like the domain starts at, what x value is this? 0, and goes off to infinity. So 0 to infinity, it's not going to be this one. Those are all 0. A, C, or D are 0 to infinity. So now we want to find the one that has the right range. So we go from bottom to top. So on the y-axis, the y value, so it looks like the range starts at -1, and then this is going to go up to infinity. So we imagine that this like just keeps going up and up and up. So it goes from -1 to +infinity. Looks like this one has the right one. All right, I want you to take a second and pause the video and see if you can get the next one. We're gonna skip these because we kind of talked about them in class and I sort of botched it. But so this last one, I want you to pause the video and try it out to make sure that you are getting it. So I'm going to show you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the correct answer was D. Domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. It doesn't have any points where it starts, so we just imagine that it goes off in those directions for forever. And then the range from bottom to top for the y values is at -2 and then goes up to infinity. All right, next one, which of the following could represent the interval 5, 100? And then same thing for number 3. So I want you to pause the video again and get number 1 and number 3 right here. I think you can do it. Try it out. So I'm going to show you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we got, it starts at 5 and goes to 100, and 5 has a parenthesis. So that means that the inequality will not have a line underneath it, so it's going to be like B, and 100 has a bracket, so that has a line. And then this one, 2. X is greater than 5, so this is just the inequality that represents the domain. This is the set notation. All right, same thing for this one. So if you didn't get number 3, I want you to pause the video again since I just talked to you about that one and try it out. It's important that you think through it too. Don't just, hang out and stare at the screen and copy down what I'm saying. I want you to think about it. All right, so pause the video, make sure that you can get this one. Which one is it? Looks like these two. Right, A and D. So we have lines underneath it. We say X is greater than or equal to -4, X is less than or equal to 6, and then we have brackets for those and set notation. So the graph of this exponential function, we want to use interval notation to describe the domain and range. So domain from left to right, it looks like it's going to keep going in that direction. So we're going to say -infinity. And then this keeps going in that in the direction to the right also, so to positive infinity. And range from bottom to top, the y values, it starts at 0, but it doesn't actually equal 0. It just keeps getting closer to 0, and then goes up to infinity. All right, these ones, so the domain and range for this one, looks like domain, we start here, start at -4, and end at 4. And then this one, range, go from bottom to top. So it looks like we start here and end here. So we start at y equals 0, and we end at y equals 4. Okay, lesson 1.2, characteristics of function graphs. So here we're going to look at intercepts and intervals where the function is increasing or decreasing, positive or negative, and then relative max, mins, and in behavior. So we talked a little bit about this in class, so it should be a slight review, but let's do it. So the graph shows a function that models the value V of a stock portfolio as a function of time in months over an 18-month period. Which of the following intervals shows the graph increasing? So we want to look for direction changes, and direction changes happen here where it has a hump or a hill or a valley. So these are where direction changes happen, right here. So we want to separate the graph into those direction changes, and we have to figure out, okay, in this first interval, is it increasing or decreasing? And you want to think about what is happening as X gets bigger. So as we go from left to right, if we had a person walking on this graph from left to right, they'd be walking upward, right? So it's increasing in this interval. And this one, this person, they'd be walking downward, right? So it's decreasing in this interval. And then same thing over here, it looks like it's increasing. And then here, let's see where it changes direction. So from here to 3, it looks like. It might be a little off from 3. And then here it looks like 13. So those are my intervals where it changes direction. So it goes from up to 3, it's increasing. Between 3 and 13, it's decreasing. And then from 13 to, what is this, 18? It's increasing. So let's take a look at how these answers are. So it says, select all where they're increasing. Well, these are where it's increasing. This is increasing, so that's from 0 to 3. And then it's also increasing from 13 to 18. So there we go. And then which of the following is it decreasing? Well, it's decreasing in between here, so that's from 3 to 13. and that's the only spot where it's decreasing. And then what are the coordinates of the local maximum? So even though this point right here is the highest point, the maximum, it has to be a direction change. So the max or min has to be a direction change. So this is not a direction change. It doesn't go from increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing. So that is not the maximum. The local maximum would be this hill right here, the peak of the hill. So that's going to be 3, 2.5. And then the minimum, this point, the valley, is going to be, let's see, 13, 0.75. All right, let's try this again. So I want you to pause the video now that you saw me walk through those. I want you to try to get some of these, okay? Try to get, we don't need to know average rate of change. Sorry about that. Based on the graph on which interval are the function values positive? Never mind, this is different. You don't need to pause the video. Okay, number 3. Based on the function graph of g of x, on which intervals are the function values positive? Select all that apply. So we go from negative infinity, where is it positive? So it's asking where it's positive. This is different than the last one. The last one was where is the graph increasing, where is the graph decreasing. Here it's saying where is it positive. So that's where's the graph above the x-axis. So these are positive. Over here is negative, okay? So it looks like, let's see, from right here is where it crosses the x-axis. So at -3, it goes down into negative, and then it comes back up into positive. Imagine this as being like water right here. So right here the graph is underwater, here the graph is above water, so it's going back underwater here. So those are going to help us with our intervals. So it goes from -3 to -1 and then to 2. So here it's positive, and then here it's negative, here it's positive, here it's negative. So let's take a look. It says where are the graph's functions values positive? So where are they above water? And that goes from negative infinity to -3. And then also positive from -1 to 2. That's it. Not too bad, right? And then the next one should be, where is it negative? This is supposed to be negative. So it's negative from -3 to -1, and then from 2 to infinity. Here we go. And then where are the graphs? Where does the graph have zeros? So it has zeros where it goes from above water to below water, or positive to negative, where it crosses the x-axis. So at this point, and at this point, those are the zeros. So that's -3, -1, and 2. Okay, let's see what's next. So we're going to try this again. Where are the intervals where the graph is increasing? So that's direction change, right? Direction change. So we don't care about above water, below water. We care about, if we were to walk on top of the graph, where would we change direction? So we care about the peaks, and we care about the valleys. So here this is at -1, and here this is at 1, right? So here the person would be walking upward, so it's increasing. Here they'd be walking downward, so they're decreasing, and here it's increasing. So which of the following intervals shows the graph increasing? Well, that's from -2 to 1, and from 1 to infinity. Which of the following intervals shows the graph decreasing? So it looks like from -1 to +1. What are the coordinates of the local maximum? Maximum is the peak. Minimum is the valley. So maximum is going to be the coordinates -1, 2. And then the minimum, 1, 0. And then the graph shows the relationship between x and y. What are the zeros of the function? Well, the zeros are where it crosses the x-axis, right here, -2 and 1. All right, we're going to skip this page. We don't need to do this page. There's just something extra fun that I threw in there. And in the next video, we're going to start on lesson 1.3.